It's pretty equilateral in terms of how it's spread out among the members of the tribe. Although the medicine man, the religious leader, he's amassed quite a lot of resources because people give him gifts of deer and of plants. So basically, he's rich in resources. He's wealthy. I'm just going to touch again on go a bit more into the religion because there's just a few little gaps I needed to fill in. So you'll remember I talked about the primordial parent gods, Fehim and Badu. So Fehim's the god and the male god, and the Badu is the female consort. And if you talk about them together, you basically refer to them as Fehim Badu. Fehim Badu. They of course gave birth to the great sun god Paku. Paku. When they're describing the gods, also when they're describing the medicine man, they'll use a sort of honorific adjective, which is Fayimem, Fayimem, and they'll refer to God as a Paku Fayimem, Paku Fayimem. You would have heard that referred to a few times in my first video on the ancient creation myth, and of course Paku had the female consort, Lufe. And of course the remains of the parent gods, Fehim Badu, became the four lesser gods under Paku. And we had Wunim. Because Wunim is an earth god and made the plants and the animals, he's represented or seen as being, his body is sort of an adapted tree trunk. The branches of the arms, and he's got several heads that are the heads of different animals. And the sacred symbol for Wunim represents the antlers of a deer, Wunim. Female consort of Wunim is Wifi. Wifi is the ancestor of the tribe we're focusing on, Uhitumi Wifi tribe. We have the sky god, Kue. Kue. Now, Kue is represented or seen as being associated with the sky and the sea, seen as being a big sort of blue liquid bird made of water. And of course the female consort of Kue is Ias. Ias. We had Kulu, the moon god, associated with femininity, Kulu. Consort, female consort of Kulu was Be. Be is the ancestor of the Uitumi Be tribe. We had the storm god, Yesis. Looks like Essis, but it's pronounced Yesis. The picture symbol for Yesis is actually a tree that's been bowed back by a storm. Yesis. And the consort of Yesis is Kem. Kem. Now, the gods are not the gods need to be sort of placated because if you don't keep them happy, they can cause trouble. They're not particularly interested in human welfare. Even the sort of ancestor, mythological ancestor of the tribe you're in, the female consort of a particular male god, can be a little bit offhand. And certainly it's completely taboo to address a god directly. You don't talk directly to, address the gods directly. There's various rituals, ceremonies to sort of praise and placate the god in the third person. There's a more personalized relationship with the ancestors, and when somebody passes away, they're seen to become an ancestor spirit. The ancestors, Seifi, ancestor, Seifi. They're thought to exist in a realm that's known as Dolu. It's really associated with the sky, and they don't. The individuals don't sort of worship ancestors, but they feel like the ancestors are watching over them, and the ancestors can be communicated with, but they're done through the medium of the medicine man, the tribal religious leader, and his name he's referred to as the Kika. Kika. And at an auspicious time, an auspicious place, he can communicate with the ancestors. The ancestors can communicate directly with the gods, and in that sense they're seen as being diplomats, sort of between people and gods. So now, in addition to the actual gods, it's really an animist religion, which is typical of an early sort of tribal society, and basically they see it as there are spirits everywhere that pretty much infest everything, but they're present everywhere. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and these spirits are referred to as Vidoe. Vidoe. And that wraps up an outline of the religion and fills in a few gaps that I sort of didn't get to when I was going through the ancient Ulan creation myth. Now, just to wrap things up here, again, I haven't really received much in the way of comments. Comments, suggestions, questions are welcome, and I'm planning to post some material on the grammar, the structure of the language, on one of the constructed language websites. Although at the moment it's not really user friendly, it's sort of more for a sort of reference guide for myself. Now, if we project to a certain time where the Wuhi-Tomi-Wipi tribe are in this parallel universe, remember that I said we have a situation where the medicine man, they now have amassed some resources, and the medicine man has got quite a lot of resources. There's just a little undertone, okay? It's fairly harmonious at the moment, but there's a little bit of undertone of perhaps challenging the medicine man. Some individuals perhaps challenging medicine man and challenging his authority, and perhaps a little bit of resentment at the resources that he's built up. Rivalry for resources. None of that has really come to the surface at the moment, just perhaps a little undertone there. That's just something to keep in mind in terms of what might happen in the future down the track with this society. Okay, so I'll leave it at that for now. So thanks again, YouTube universe, and Happy New Year, 2010.